Welcome back again, ladies and gentlemen, to Joe Stunner Boxing. There was a really sort of grueling middleweight contest that topped the bill on GBM Boxing, the promotion that was shown live on YouTube. Terrific card. You had Adam Smith there with Spencer Oliver commentating. Like I say, top of the bill was a very, very tough contest between Shakiel Thompson, who came in undefeated with 11 fights, and he fought Vladimir Georgiev, who came in with 12 wins and 3 defeats. But Georgiev had never been stopped previously. He only had 2 wins in the of his 12 victories that were knockouts. But Shakiel Thompson, bit of a bigger puncher, came in with those 11 wins, 7 by KO, no draws, no defeats. 27 years old, Thompson, and apparently, according to Adam Smith and Spencer, they were saying that he actually still works a full-time job. Georgiev from Bulgaria, from Sofia, Bulgaria, 33, a little bit older. There were 2 belts on the line. One was the IBF European middleweight title, not the real European title, but gets you a ranking. And also the WBO Global title, which to me is like, isn't that supposed to be a world title? If you're the champion of the globe, you are a world champ. No, it's not the real WBO title. Both these were vacant, put it that way. But the fight was better than the belts, let's put it that way, because Thompson came out. Even though Georgiev had fought at super middleweight, Thompson looked the bigger man. He was certainly taller and rangier. And he was being very, very slick, moving a lot, but firing a lot of punches. He's 6'3" and he's a southpaw, so he's going to be an awkward handful. And Georgiev clearly, limited, I would say, at European level. But what a trier. I mean, he didn't stop going forward, didn't stop throwing huge, wide hooks, trying to get close to Thompson. Thompson wasn't really firing hurtful punches to begin with, but you could tell that the intent was there, that he was probably going to sort of try and take him into deep waters and drown him, as they say. This was a 10-rounder, not a 12-rounder, even though those 2 belts were on the line. And Georgiev never stopped trying, but it wasn't really until about the 5th round that, the bull, shall we say, started to sort of sag a little bit. But at the same time, interestingly, Thompson seemed to be a little bit more flat-footed. Georgiev was landing, even though he looked tired. He was forcing himself through the fatigue barrier and throwing some of those big overhand hooks and actually landing on Thompson, whereas initially he couldn't really lay a glove on him. It was all sort of one-way traffic. He seemed to be struggling with the southpaw stance as well a little bit, Georgiev. And it kind of... Clearly, in order to win, he had to drag Thompson into a fight, rather than it being a boxing match, because Thompson was just boxing his head off. But he was kind of around about the 4th, 5th round. He was getting closer, and you thought, okay, this is getting interesting. And then in the sort of 6th, 7th round, Thompson, I wouldn't say a fight broke out, but it was becoming... The question was sort of arising like, what's going to happen here? Who's going to tire first? Because they were both looking a bit tired. Thompson was still moving a fair bit, but the feet seemed to be a little bit slower, whereas Georgiev was clearly fatigued, probably because he was loading up so much with these big hooks, trying to wing them over the top against this 6'3", praying mantis of a guy. And he wasn't having... He was having some success, but they do say that when you miss with a huge punch, it actually takes out you more than if you land. And it seemed to me as if Thompson was in danger of maybe getting caught with one of those big punches, maybe getting a bit sloppy, because around about the 6th round, those middle rounds, Georgiev was landing, and he was, even though he himself was being stung, you could tell. If one of those lands, Thompson could be in real trouble. And then I think in the 7th round, Thompson found the key to the door, which, of course, is what we've said before. It's so often the key to the door, and that is body punching. He started to really chop to Georgiev's midriff and with hooks and really hurt him. And why Georgiev wasn't investing in the body, especially against a 6'3" opponent, I don't know. But his body work was minimal at best, probably non-existent. But Thompson, he started to bang to that body, and he really started to sap the remaining energy of Georgiev, who was so game. So, seventh round, he didn't hit the floor, even though he was really, really hurt. You could tell he was hurt. They were sort of getting him to stretch his legs out and, rubbing him down, trying to sort of get some life back into him from the waist down, really. The legs were probably like lead. I doubt whether he could feel them properly. And then in the seventh round, there was, again, another exchange carried on. In the eighth round, there was, again, Thompson standing a bit more flat-footed, trying to fight more. Well, he was fighting more. He wasn't trying, he was fighting more. You would think that would suit Georgiev, but by this point, he didn't really have a lot of fuel left, Georgiev. And there was I think it was a right hand followed by a left hook. It was a right hook because he's southpaw, Thompson. So it was a right hook followed by a left cross, the backhand, which landed, and it put Georgiev flat on his back with his arms outstretched. And you just thought, okay, the fight's over. And it seemed to be a case of sheer exhaustion as much as the punches put Georgiev over. He managed to sort of get up, but he got up a second too late. It looked to me like he was just spent and didn't really want it to go on. But some people are what Teddy Atlas called game quitters. And I think Georgiev, even though he only had another couple of rounds to go, he was just so knackered. And he must have known he was behind on points, and he thought, the hell with this, I've had enough of this, I'm out of here. But I'm not taking anything away from him. He actually took the mic immediately afterwards and said, he apologised to his fans and said thank you to all the people that had come out. And, he did give a lot. But in the end, I think he was just, he kind of sort of quit. Got up too late, but I think he was demoralised. I think he just didn't think he had anything left, and he probably didn't. So that's a stoppage. It's the first stoppage defeat of his career. He slips to 12-4, and Shakiel Thompson moves to 12-0 with 8 KOs. He's got these 2 belts, this IBF European thing, middleweight thing, and the WBO global thing. And we'll see how it goes. It gets him a ranking. I'd like to see him go for the British or the Commonwealth or the EBU, something that has a bit of value, a bit of history, a bit of meat on it. But he might try and gate crash the world rankings and make that quantum leap to world level. I don't think he's ready for it, to be honest. He's 27, so there's not a lot of hurry. As for Georgiev at 33, tough guy but limited. Very limited. Good gatekeeper maybe at a certain level, but I don't see him really getting any better at 33. Thompson, yeah, he can improve, and he'll need to. He was getting hit a few too many times. He is a bit upright, 6'3", upright. But when he actually got down in the trenches and fought, strangely enough, even though he did look as if he was leaving himself open, nevertheless. He was very good body puncher indeed. So anyway, what did you think? Did you enjoy this GBM card? Because I really did. I thought it was a very, very good card. Free to air on YouTube, can't complain, can you? But let me know what you thought of this fight. Comments below, and please subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you could do that, that would be a big help for us. And hit the like button as well. I'd appreciate that. I always thank you for your time. It means a lot. Catch you later. Bye for now.